Here is a picture of me. Here is a picture of me. And here is also a picture of me. You might ask, what do these three photos all share in common? The answer is, they are all photos of me on board an Air Transat economy class flight flying between the two cities of Toronto and Montreal, Canada. Last year, in 2019, I had the pleasure of flying 3 different basic economy flights on board 3 different Air Transat aircraft, traversing the meager distance between 2 Canadian metropolitan hubs. This somehow gives me the feeling that I have enough experience and insight to provide you all with a comprehensive review of the Air Transat economy class experience. So I guess this means that without further ado, I present to you the comprehensive review of the Air Transat basic economy class experience. Flying domestically between only Toronto and Montreal, Montreal and Toronto, and Toronto and Montreal again. Phew, that was a lot to say. Okay, in all seriousness though, let's stop dilly-dallying and let's begin, shall we? Oh wait, remember to subscribe to help me out a lot and like the video as well. Really, do it please. Subscribe and like and that's all. Thank you so much. I had the pleasure of flying on board these 3 planes over a span of just a few months. There were the old but gorgeous Airbus A310-300, the somewhat outdated but elegantly painted 737-700, and the extremely hyped up and new A321neo. Overall, my 3 flights allowed me to cover roughly 1,500 kilometers in total, or for you Americans who use miles, never mind, you have Google, just convert it yourself. That might sound like plenty, but compare that to the one-way flight from Dubai to Toronto on board one of these Emirates A380 Super Jumbo jets. Their 11,080 kilometer trip would have been enough to fly my Toronto to Montreal route 22 times. But enough calculations and math, now let's get on to the first main point. I believe that anyone flying basic economy isn't really looking for much in terms of a super comfortable ride, especially for a short 1-hour hop across the 2 provinces. They are just looking for a cost-efficient method of getting from one city to the next. So, with this in mind, we begin this review by taking a look at the boarding process and how timely the airline truly is. When flying business class, passengers are greeted to an array of delicately presented food and rest spots at the airport lounge. When flying Air Transat Basic Economy class, passengers are greeted to a plethora of crowded vacationers situated at the boarding gate area. However appalling this might be for the luxury traveler, the airline itself is actually quite on time. On my 3 flights with Air Transat, the total delay time came out to be only 63 minutes, which gives an average of 21 minutes of delay per flight. That, for a leisure carrier, is quite acceptable, and anyone flying local leisure airlines knows that 21 minutes of delay is certainly not much to stress about because other low-cost carriers have a tendency to be delayed by much more. Now, another thing leisure travelers in basic economy care about is the legroom. Even for a short flight between Montreal and Toronto, I believe that the more legroom, the better the comfort, obviously. Air Transat allows their passengers to pre-select their economy seats for a fee or wait until 24 hours before departure to online check-in and select the remaining seats free of charge. This included the emergency exit row seats, which I snagged on board the 737-700, giving me virtually unlimited legroom. It also means that there are usually plenty of empty seats left to choose, and if you precisely online check-in at 24 hours prior, you will be able to select any of the window, aisle, or if you somehow enjoy the middle seat, that can be an option as well. Finally, let's talk about the service. Obviously, basic economy passengers should not expect to be treated like a king or queen, and honestly, many passengers sitting here should watch their own behavior first.
You may not have a job tomorrow. I want this lady. No, I can't. I can't, Tabitha. I have to. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I have to do this. Thank you, Tabitha.
But I find that Air Transat truly prides themselves on delivering quality customer relationships and experienced great attentive cabin crew services on all 3 of my flights. You get a free drink on the short flight and have the option to purchase from the in-flight menu on longer trips. They were very kind and gladly asked the captain and first officer to allow me to film inside the cockpit of the retro Airbus A310-300, and that was one of 3 superb flights. Now, there were some negatives that I should mention, such as the outrageous sanitary hazard on board my 737-700 flight, because my seatbelt was literally covered in gum. Like, it was hard to unbuckle the belt because there was gum inside it. Gross. And I am not overreacting when I say it was hard to unbuckle, because it was hard to unbuckle. I left a complaint and it was duly responded to. Hopefully, seat 13 Kilo on the one and only Charlie Golf Tango Quebec Papa is cleaned up now. But overall, there really was not much to complain about my flight experiences on Air Transat Domestic Basic Economy class. Their flights were rather on time, seat choices were quite satisfactory, and service was admirable. It certainly deserves a try if you ever need an inexpensive lift across the country, and hopefully, you will all have great flights with them as well. I have linked all 3 of my trip reports on the flights in the description box below and hope that you will take the time to subscribe and like my video as it truly helps me out a lot. Feel free to visit my Instagram page at delta_bravo_tango today for more aviation footage and live updates on flight reports. I thank you all so much for tuning in, and as usual, and remember, as always, aviators, stay flying and have a great day everyone, and we'll catch you all on the next flight.